I have no respect for your deceitfulness. I respect Jews who live like Jews and don't try to trap Messianics. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Then there's the other, okay, if strategy 1 doesn't work, what does the anti-missionary do? He goes to strategy 2. What's strategy 2? The prophecy is about Isaiah's wife, and the son is She'er Yashuv. Huh? The prophecy is the young woman is Mrs. Isaiah, and the son is She'er Yashuv. There's only one problem with that. She'er Yashuv is there, is he not? Yes. Okay. How can the prophecy be about the young son? Because that son is She'er Yashuv, and if hold it. If Mrs. Isaiah had a son, she's not a virgin anymore, is she? If this prophecy is talking about She'er Yashuv, are you with me? Then it can't be a prophecy of the future because She'er Yashuv is there. This is talking about a son who is not yet born. Y'all not hearing me? Y'all not hearing me? This can't be a son who's alive. It's got to be someone who's not yet born.
That's right. In the future.
And if Mrs. Isaiah, if this is talking about She'er Yashuv, and Mrs. Isaiah is the virgin, then hold it, She'er Yashuv is there, and he's not supposed to be there because this is a child who will be born. The prophecy is written in a future tense.
Yeah.
See, but they don't plan on you knowing that. They don't plan on you knowing that. Because then they say, no. Now, if that doesn't work, they go to plan 3. So it can't be Mrs. Isaiah. Why? Mrs. Isaiah is not a virgin. It can't be She'er Yashuv, the son, Emmanuel. Why? Because he's already born, and this is talking about a future son. Okay, so who have we eliminated? She'er Yashuv, Hezekiah. You'll see more reasons why Hezekiah couldn't be the one. We've eliminated the virgin as Mrs. Isaiah. She had a son. And Mrs. what? Ahaz, who had Hezekiah. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, Hillel, as I mentioned to you, who said this was Hezekiah, that was such an absurd in those days before Yeshua was born. Before the anti-missionary movement sprung into full bloom. It is written in the Talmud, listen to this. So I use the Talmud for history, not for Bible doctrine. But listen to this. In the Talmud, Sanhedrin 99a, it says, Rabbi Hillel said, Israel cannot expect Mashiach because they have already enjoyed him in the days of King Hezekiah. Hillel, the great Hillel, the head of the Beit Hillel, said Israel cannot expect the Messiah because they've already enjoyed him in the days of Hezekiah. Are you with me? And Rabbi Yosef, who is from a contemporary of Rabbi Hillel, said, may Elohim forgive him for saying such. May Elohim forgive him for saying such. Now, here's another reason it can't be Hezekiah. Or Yaher Yashuv. What do the anti-missionaries say, Raina? It's either Hezekiah or She'er Yashuv. You want another reason why it can't be either one of them? In addition to their mothers not being virgins? Ready? If it was speaking about either of those two children as Emmanuel, amen? Then wouldn't the messianic prophecies have ceased? Wouldn't future messianic prophecies have stopped? Think about this. Think. Don't just sit there, but think. Now, Isaiah was written in 740, 750 BCE. Well, what about Zechariah? 500. Spoke of the coming of the Messiah. Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1 through 4. Spoke of the coming of the Messiah. Micah wrote, as a contemporary of Isaiah, after Isaiah, spoke about the coming of the Messiah. If Hezekiah, listen, or Yasher Yashuv were the Messiah, Emmanuel, or Mrs. Ahaz, or Mrs. Isaiah were the young woman, or the Almah, then would not the prophets have stopped? If they believe what Rabbi Hillel believed, wouldn't the messianic prophecies have ceased?
Yes.
You see? It's so easy to wrap the anti-missionary around your finger, but you got to do a little study. The Great Almah Controversy. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. But wait a second. Why did Yahweh tell Isaiah to take his son? Is it because he couldn't find a babysitter? Is it because Isaiah didn't have a nursery? Didn't Yahweh say to Isaiah, take your son and go meet King Ahaz?
Yes.
Was it the lack of child care that Isaiah was forced to bring his son?
No.
Did he open the yellow page and just couldn't find child care? No, Yahweh had a reason for that son being there. Amen?
Yes.
Turn to your neighbor and say, he had a reason for the son being there.
Yes.
Now, Yahweh said to Yeshua, Yahweh said to Yeshayahu, verse 3, go meet Ahaz and Sha'er Yashuv your son.
Yeah.
Okay, now look at verse 15. He eats curds and honey when he knows to refuse evil and choose good. Are you with me? So, the reason the son is there, he is a what? A type of the coming antitype. In order to have an antitype, you've got to have a type. This son is a what? Is a guarantee that the Messiah is coming and that the Messiah can't be Hezekiah or Yasher Yeshua. You really? The son is there because Yahweh wants to make a point to cool down King Ahaz. Ahaz is freaked out. I mean, he's completely freaked out. Ephraim is on his back. And Ephraim is not coming alone. He's coming with Reza, the king of Syria, and Pekah. And there's an alliance of Syria and Ephraim against tiny Judah. And the Jews and Ephraimites are doing what they always do best, which is fight. All right? And so he's got to calm this king of Judah down. Is anyone with me? Yes. And so the reason Yahweh wants Sha'ir Yashuv there is because, look, before he eats curds and honey, meaning the son of verse 14, he'll refuse evil and choose good. How many times did Yeshua choose evil and not choose good? How many times growing up did the son of the virgin, Yeshua the Messiah, choose evil over good? How many times? Huh?
Never.
Never. Correct? Good. He never chose the evil. Now, verse 16, before the child, there's a mistranslation in your scriptures. It's capitalized. The C is capitalized. It should not be capitalized. Now this shifts to Yeshur Yashub. Before the child knows to refuse evil and choose good, the land that you dread, meaning Syria to the north, and Ephraim, the land of Israel that is now under occupation, Jewish Israel, Judah, will be forsaken of both her kings. You see why Jair Yashub is there?
Yeah.
Because Yahweh says, relax. Before this child, how old was Isaiah's child?
9.
4, 5, 6. He was young. Before he is a teenager, before he knows right from wrong, both Ephraim and Syria will be defeated by the forces of Judah. Now you understand why Isaiah's son is there? Yahweh's saying, if this promise is true, and this promise is not deep, and this promise is not high, and this promise is not heavy, and this promise is not a great revelation, if both Ephraim and Syria, Aram, are defeated by the time Isaiah's child becomes a teenager, book it, guaranteed that the other son will come, who will always refuse the evil and always choose the good. And that's why that son was there. Not to somehow say, like the anti-missionaries say, that Isaiah's son, Jair Yashuv, was the Messiah. No, he was there saying, if that by the time that child grows up into teenagehood, the land of Israel will be ridden of the two sovereigns that you now dread. Does this make sense? Okay, so it's a coming Messiah. It can't be Yeshuv. And so verse 16 is not talking about Yeshua. So let's recap. The sign was given to who? To the whole house of David. He uses Ahaz and Isaiah's son as object lessons. Are you with me? Isaiah, before your son can choose right from wrong, Israel, Ephraim, and Syria shall be defeated, and you will be at peace. And if that's true, Ahaz, I'm not just talking to you anymore, I'm talking to the whole house of David. If you see both kings defeated and Judah prevail and Judah victorious, then all the house of David will surely know that the coming of the young woman will give birth to a son